What's going on, guys? It's your boy Majin Ashura back at it again with another Dragon Ball video. So this is one that I've been thinking about for years now, and I'm like, oh, yeah, I think it's finally time to make it, alright? The baby one that I made last time, that's one that, you know, is a little more recent. But this one isn't like a debunk. It's just something that I've noticed, and I gotta give props. You just have to give credit to the Prince of All Saiyans for this one. So there's only two kinds of Vegeta fights, with the exception of, I want to say, probably 4. I could be wrong, but probably 4. 2 of those 4 are Goku fights, okay? Goku fights are a little different, but there's only 2 types of Vegeta fights. The ones where he overwhelmingly wins, he just dominates completely, it's a blowout. And then the ones where he just gets completely and utterly bodied, alright? It can only go 2 ways with this man. So I want to talk about his first fight against Goku. It's weird because, yes, he could have beaten Goku. He did beat Goku, but he didn't win the battle. He got jumped by a bunch of Earthlings, and he lost that way. So yeah, technically he did defeat Goku because Goku's highest multiplier could only go up to 4 at that time, and Vegeta's highest multiplier was 10 via the Great Ape transformation. Overall, Vegeta was stronger than Goku during this fight, but he got jumped by Earthlings, so he technically did lose. Even though he beat Goku, he won the battle, unfortunately. Like I said, Goku fights are just, they just end weird for this man. Let's see. We have his fight with Kui. This one is a blowout. He pretty much just one-shots him and kills him immediately. His fight against Dodoria, he dominated that entire fight. That was a blowout. Now, his fight with Zarbon was interesting, okay? He was doing alright at the beginning, but once Zarbon transformed, it was over. So Vegeta, he got bodied, but he sort of made up for it with the second fight. After he got the Zenkai boost, and that was pretty much a blowout. He just look at this. This is just horrid, just horrid. His fight with Frieza was the beginning of another pattern that Vegeta suffered from. You could technically say his first fight with Zarbon was sort of like that, but here's how it goes. If Vegeta does well against a main villain, the main villain is probably going to transform and beat him up after that. You know what I mean? Like, the fact that Vegeta was equal to first form Frieza, it's crazy, but we all know how many forms Frieza had up his sleeve, and Vegeta just wasn't prepared for any of them. Now, Vegeta did get that Zenkai boost, but at the end of the day, it ended how it ended. It wasn't enough for Frieza's final form. The man got beat up, he got tortured, and ultimately murdered. It was just a bad day for Vegeta overall. Now we have to talk about his fight with Android 19, the first time he became a Super Saiyan. Needless to say, this was a blowout. Then his most iconic defeat ever. He just got bodied here against Android 18, just sad. And when I say Vegeta gets bodied, I mean he tries to put up a fight against the villains, but the villains don't take much damage. They just don't. Like, 18, she's fine. She's scratched up, but she's fine. Like, this man is just helpless. Just utterly helpless. We had the fight with Vegeta and Semi-Perfect Cell. Terrible battle. Look at what he's doing to him. He's just strangling him out. Vegeta, for him to do this to a main villain, it was actually worse than what he did to Frieza. He was just equal to Frieza. He's actually putting hands on a main villain and actually bodying them. He just dug his foot up in this man's stomach. He's hagging, he's gagging, coughing, veins bulging on his throat. This man is going through things, and Vegeta just doesn't care, just destroying him. But as I said before, when Vegeta fights a main villain and he gets a good amount of blows on him, the main villain is most likely going to transform. Now in this case, Cell wasn't hiding a power away like Frieza was, or he wasn't underestimating himself. Cell couldn't access the perfect form, it was locked away. He needed to absorb Android 18. Vegeta let him do that, right? Vegeta let this happen to himself. Back broken, Perfect Cell laughing at this man's ass as he just shatters his pride and his skeleton. Just sending him flying down to the ground, bro. It was just sad. Just sad. Like I said before, if Vegeta puts hands on the main villain, they're most likely going to transform and do unspeakable things to him. Next, we have his fight with Goku. Again, his fights with Goku are always weird because this one doesn't even end in a victory or a defeat. You're right, he just sneaks up in this man and just knocks him out. just sleeps him, alright? Vegeta doesn't even consider this a victory. He did this for a reason. He didn't do this to win against Goku. He did this so he could do... I gotta phrase this. He did this so he can make a meaningful sacrifice, alright? He can make a meaningful sacrifice, alright? I was gonna say it more bluntly, but YouTube doesn't like that sometimes. So yeah, he's gonna make a meaningful sacrifice, and he didn't want Goku stopping him. He knocked him out. He went to go fight Majin Buu, the main villain. And let me tell you, Vegeta, he got bodied pretty badly. Majin Buu beat the shit out of him, man. It was bad. Trunks had to step in and save him, man. And in the end of the day, Vegeta did his spinal explosion, and it ultimately amounted to nothing. Vegeta died, and Majin Buu was fine. Every time Vegeta, but this dude didn't even transform. Majin Buu didn't even transform. It was just he just got bodied that badly. It was just a bad day for Vegeta. When there's only two types of fights for Vegeta, he either wins overwhelmingly so, or he loses overwhelmingly so. It's just the way it goes. It's just the way it goes. This man really thought he was gonna pull up on Buhan with Super Saiyan 2. Man caught his punch with the bottom of his shoe. Alright? Vegeta really just got decimated. You tried to pull up on the fucking main villain, right? That Super Saiyan 3 Goku couldn't even do anything against, with your stupid Super Saiyan 2, simply because he didn't want to fuse, and he got decimated. It's just a bad showing for Vegeta overall. His fight against Kid Buu is the same. Here's another thing. If Vegeta's fighting a main villain that doesn't transform, and he gets meaningful blows on him, those blows, I guarantee you, those blows are doing 0 damage. They just have enough force to push their faces back from the sheer force of his punch, but they're not hurting them. Buu is not being hurt. He is receiving 0 damage, right? Vegeta's trying his hardest. The fact that he's even pushing Buu back like this, you gotta give it to him. But at the end of the day, it ends the same. Bodied. Same deal with Beerus. He got a rage boost, landed some blows, 0 damage, bodied. Now I'm not gonna lie, Vegeta versus Golden Frieza was a little weird, cause Vegeta, he literally won that fight. He had this man, like, look at him, just pummeling him, destroying him. Had this man on all fours, bent over, face down, ass up, ready to take a big bang to the back of the dome, only for Vegeta to lose. Oh my god, why was this written? Even all these years later, I'm wondering, why was this written? Vegeta's cursed by the plot because Frieza blows up the planet. He blows up the planet. Vegeta, some people think Vegeta got caught up in the explosion. This man is a Super Saiyan, God Super Saiyan, with the power to destroy multiple universes with the sheer force of his fist. No, this man suffocated in space and died. That's what happened to him. He suffocated in space and died, and that was the end of Vegeta. They could have went and saved them, Whis, but they couldn't find them. It was too dark. Vegeta probably saw them. They were right over there. They just... Can you imagine? Can you imagine? Like, they're just talking about going back in time. Vegeta just sees them yapping. He's right over there. He can't breathe. He's trying to get to them, but they're yapping about rewinding time. Vegeta's right there. They could have saved him. Terrible death. Terrible, terrible death. But they rewinded time, so Vegeta doesn't even know he suffocated and died anyway. Vegeta's fight against Hit, bodied. Fight against Goku Black, bodied. Alright? But he came back for the run back against Goku Black. Put hands on him. Here's the problem with this one, okay? They did this weird thing where, like, Goku Black, he one-shotted Vegeta earlier. He just bodied him. Their second battle, they decided to implement the main villain syndrome, alright? The main villain syndrome that Vegeta has, but it wasn't that bad here. So, after Vegeta defeats Goku Black and beats him up, Goku Black gets a rage boost. Now, Goku Black's rage boost is a little different from other Saiyans, alright? He learns that Saiyans get stronger when they get angry, right? That's why Vegeta beat his ass. He figured out, damn, this dude's God Ki actually got crazy once he got angry. Let me do the same thing, but instead of him going ape and crashing out, he got creative. And he created a scythe, alright? Now, I know what you're thinking. Wow, he condensed his ki with his anger and created a weapon. No, his rage boost is in that weapon, alright? His rage boost is strong enough to cut dimensions, create an infinite amount of clones to just come and body people. Infinite clones that can't die, mind you. Every time Goku Vegeta killed a clone, it kept regenerating. Now, while Vegeta didn't get bodied as a result, he didn't win the battle because Goku and Vegeta were surrounded by a bunch of Goku-clad clones. They didn't win, but at the same time, they were helpless. The only reason why they survived is because Future Trunks sealed Zamasu inside of the Mafuba. Alright, and Goku Black had to go rescue his mans, alright? They had no answer to those clones. They were going to get killed eventually, just picked off eventually. What answer did Goku and Vegeta have to them? Those clones were going to keep coming back like Majin Buu. And they came back from dust. They turned those clones into dust and they reformed. That's crazy. So while Vegeta didn't lose, he didn't win. Goku Black had him cornered. He had him cornered after that rage boost. So it's not a transformation, but it's still a power-up. After Vegeta put hands on the main villain got a power-up, and Vegeta was just absolutely helpless. This is where things get good, alright? Because Vegeta versus Toppo granted Vegeta something that Goku got so many opportunities to do. Gohan got an opportunity to do. A real fight. I mean, a real battle. Before this point, every victory Vegeta had was a complete and utter blowout. You saw what he did to Kui. You saw what he did to Dodoria. Alright? I didn't put Guldo on this list because that wasn't a fight. That was a murder. Let's be clear. Alright? Guldo was fighting Gohan and Krillin, and Vegeta decided to kill him. That was a murder. Vegeta wasn't a part of that fight. He wanted behind him and cut his head off. That's a murder. Alright? That's not a fight. That doesn't count. Okay? That was just an act of evil. This was a battle. And both fighters were pushed to their limits. Alright? Remember what I said. Every time Vegeta wins, it's a blowout. This wasn't a blowout. Vegeta was brought to his limits. Scratched up. Tired. I was going to say bleeding, but this is Dragon Ball Super. Vegeta was forced to use the final explosion. His final resort against Toppo, and guess what? Vegeta won. Battle damaged, just beaten up, and he won. Vegeta never finishes a fight as a victor scratched. It's always a blowout. He had his first real battle and won. And I had to give him the applaud after seeing that. Vegeta versus Toppo was Vegeta's first real victory that he actually earned against an opponent that he actually scaled to, that he didn't just outscale. He had to earn this victory, and he did. Vegeta versus Toppo. Never forget this fight for this man. Definitely a highlight that a lot of people don't really talk about. They talk about Vegeta winning and they talk about his final explosion and him surviving it, but they don't talk about what this fight is. Like, it's his first real battle that he won. It's crazy. Then we go back to the formula of Vegeta versus the main villain. Vegeta pulls up on Moro with the Forced Spirit Fission, a brand new technique after training with the Yardrats, right? His spirit control is crazy, his ki control is crazy. He's beating up Moro, but what is Moro, people? Moro is the main villain. What happens if Vegeta beats up on a main villain? They transform. What happens after they transform? Vegeta gets his salad tossed. Moro ate 7-3. People like to say he absorbed 7-3. No, he ate him. This is Vor, people. Okay, Majin Buu and Cell. That's tasteful, and I'm being extremely generous with Cell when I say that it's tasteful. But this man just opened his mouth and sucked a man. He swallowed another man and just it's Vor. Toyotaro drew Vor. And now we're gonna have to watch this shit get animated. A lot of people are gonna get off to this. And to those people, I say to you, what's wrong with you? Eating is sacred, and you've ruined it. Now, Vegeta got his cheese clapped, like Moro just bodied him. Goku had to step in. You already know how it goes. But here's where things get interesting. Now we have Vegeta versus Granola. This is both the same as Vegeta versus Toppo and different than Vegeta versus Toppo. Vegeta versus Toppo is special because every time Vegeta wins, it's a complete and utter blowout. He just bodies them. Vegeta versus Toppo, Vegeta had to earn that victory. Vegeta versus Granola ended up in a loss. Now I say it's similar because Vegeta didn't get bodied. Granola was fighting for his life this entire battle. Like, I've never seen someone beat Vegeta but they were like, it took everything they got to win. I've never seen that before. Usually when Vegeta loses, it's someone that's just wiping the floor with him. No, this dude was fighting for his life. And yeah, maybe he did transform against Vegeta, but it's different. Vegeta forced him to transform. Vegeta put Granola in a position that the heroes get put in. In a position where if he doesn't power up, he's going to die. Like, it was just a miracle, and he got the power up that he needed at that point. Usually the villains are either hiding their power, or they steal it. This dude actually broke his limits during the fight against Vegeta. Like, that's something that happens to the good guys. Vegeta forced his man to evolve during the battle. And even after Vegeta didn't even lose. He gave up the fight. He gave up. Like, they were both still standing, but they were both, like, equally as mangled. So, even though Vegeta lost, this is still a legendary fight, because look at what it took to beat Vegeta this time. He didn't go out without a fight. Like, Granola, he was at the edge of death himself. Like, I've never seen that before. So, Vegeta versus Topo and Vegeta versus Granola are two of Vegeta's greatest battles. Might not be his most iconic fights, but they're two of his most greatest battles of all time. Hands down, his greatest victory and his greatest defeat. And he wasn't even angry at this loss. Unlike all the other ones, he accepted this loss with a smile on his face. So if he could smile about that, bro, I'ma smile about that. Alright? Comment below if you smiled about that, if you bitched and moaned about Vegeta taking another L. A lot of people were angry at Granola beating Vegeta, I'm not gonna lie. And you know what? I'm not gonna lie. I was pissed off too. I wasn't smiling when that shit happened. I was like, Toyotaro, back at it again. They should have just had Vegeta beat Granola and then had Gas do unspeakable things to Vegeta. But no, this is better. This is better because Vegeta, he didn't get defeated. I mean, Gas was gonna put hands on him anyway. That eventually did happen, but it would have been worse. It would have been worse if Vegeta was the only one standing and Gas pulled up. You know, it would have been worse. So Granola just getting his eyes blown out and all that extra that they did to him. I'm glad that didn't happen to Vegeta. So maybe this was for the better. Now that I'm looking back, Toyotaro made the right call. Let's just Vegeta. Because Vegeta, he wasn't trying to beat Granola. He was trying to like change his mind about the whole fight. He didn't want to kill him. Because he saw himself in Granola, the old Vegeta, just an vengeful dude. I'm gonna kill this dude for wronging me. And that's the energy that Granola was on. And Vegeta wanted to say, nah, fam, there's another way to do this, you know? Because you're chasing a ghost. Granola wants to kill Saiyans that don't even exist. Like, the Saiyans of evil are gone, like, my guy. Vegeta had to do the same shit. Like, bro, I got no one to beef with anymore. Like, just chill out. And, you know, everything seems Gucci after that, you know? And that's pretty much the whole deal. That's like a mentor position, but not like Kaba. Like, it was more like a life lesson he was trying to teach Granola, but it sort of fell through because Granola won. So Vegeta sort of fumbled the bag there. He couldn't teach the lesson he wanted to teach. He tried. It don't always work. You know? It's not always going to be the same as Kaba. You know, it's not going to. But eventually things turned out. You know, Granola came around, so that's good. Even though he came around in a dumb way. But it is what it is, guys. So like I said before, Vegeta versus Topo, Vegeta versus Granola are two of Vegeta's greatest battles. Comment below what your favorite Vegeta fight is so we can yap about our favorite moments. Peace!